So, but I did start a group. I just named it Elbert County Republican Families because we live in Elbert County and we happen to be Republican. But the purpose was to encourage families with conservative values to be politically active. So back to the month of February, a few days after I testified, I was back up at the Capitol waiting in line to watch the House debate from up in the gallery. And our Senator, Greg Brophy, came upstairs and encouraged those of us who were waiting in line to keep fighting and not to give up hope. A couple of weeks later, he was on the news talking about how popular shotguns could be banned under the proposed legislation. And it was obvious that he really knew his guns, unlike a certain politician who thinks magazines are disposable. He continued to be outspoken, fighting the gun bills, and we felt proud that he was our senator. In addition to being a Second Amendment supporter, we were glad to hear that he wants the federal government to butt out of education. And we learned that he had been protecting our freedoms and expanding opportunity for the past 11 years while he's been in the legislature. And he has all the history to back that up. So as a family, we decided that we wanted to help him in whatever adventure he pursued next. So we're excited to be part of his campaign for governor. So it's my honor to introduce our keynote speaker and candidate for governor, Senator Greg Brophy.
I will willfully and purposefully and civilly disobey this law.
Go get him, Greg!
Well, how about this, guys? Are you ready for a governor that actually respects your liberty and will protect the Second Amendment, huh? How about that? I am too, and that's why I'm running for governor, but I don't really want to talk as much about that today as I want to talk about why we are all here. I want to talk about why we're here, because we all know what started here in this building last year needs to be stopped. But before we do that, let's let the whole world know we understand what they're really up to. Now, how many of you think gun control is about guns? No? How many of you think it's about control?
There you go.
We know what they are up to. It has nothing to do with reducing gun violence. It has everything to do with expanding control, taking away our liberty. And it all started right here in this building with the introduction of absolutely unnecessary and unconstitutional gun control bills. And they awoke a sleeping giant. You guys showed up, you rallied. We're rallying all across America today. This great organization, Gun Rights Across America, is rallying all across America on this day to let people know that we will stand up for our liberty. Think back to those fights that we had here in this building. All of you who came down to testify, to watch, to contact your legislators. Hey, how many of you contacted the governor and said, Governor, don't sign those bills? How many of you did that? Did he listen to you? Who did he listen to? The mayor of New York City, Mayor Bloomberg, not the people of Colorado. The people of Colorado deserve better than that. And we fought hard. You guys came down. You stood here. You contacted your legislators. Me and my colleagues who never folded once on this. Every elected Republican in this building stood up for your Second Amendment rights. Do you know why they did that? Because you guys gave them the spine that they needed. That hasn't always been the case, you know. Republicans haven't always stood to protect your Second Amendment rights. There's a history of Republicans folding when the going gets tough. But did we fold in here? No, we did not. And we knew we were going to lose. And we fought hard until past midnight on the floor of the Senate to protect the Second Amendment rights. And they didn't even have enough guts, the gun grabbers, to get up and defend their position. We spoke the whole night. We put up a huge fight. And you know what we earned with that? We earned their respect. And you know what we won with that? Well, we didn't win the vote in here. And that's why this is so important, though, because what we did win with that is this. In liberal Oregon, a state that is notably to the left of Colorado, they introduced very, very similar gun legislation But because of the fight that we all put on here in Colorado, those bills were defeated by a democratically controlled legislature in the state of Oregon. Because we fought here, and because we rallied here. And the same thing happened in Washington, D.C. The United States Senate, controlled by far-left Democrats, much in line with this guy that stands in this office back here behind us, they were too afraid to pass gun control legislation because of what we did here in Colorado. They started it here. Now it's time for us to end it here. We started with the recall elections. We bumped 3 people out of office for grabbing our Second Amendment rights. November 4th is coming, and it's time to bounce some more out of there, starting with John Hickenlooper, gun grabber extraordinaire. I think these gun-grabbing Democrats have stumbled upon one of the greatest blunders of all time. Now, everybody knows the greatest blunder of all time is don't get involved in a land war in Asia. The second greatest gun blunder of all time is don't go after our Second Amendment rights when you think we are weak, because we will rise up and we will defeat you come November 4th, 2014. My name is Greg Brophy. I want to thank you all for coming down here. We are rallying for liberty. God bless you all.